Hi, thanks for tuning to Astro Awani, and you are back with me, Linawati Adnan, on In Realty. Well, now you know the kind of art and the kind of painting that you'd like to buy. So now we're going to let you in on where you can have them. So I'm right here in the Purplehouse, and with me today is Soon Wei. He's the gallery director. Thank you so much, Soon Wei, for making the time with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So like Dino said earlier, everyone can invest on art.
Correct.
So then when we come here, you can see these amazing things, but we'd like to know how it all started at Purplehouse.
Okay, Purplehouz Fine Arts is actually situated on an affluent neighborhood of Petaling Jaya. We're on Jalan Gasing, and we have actually 3 galleries, and where we are at right now is actually the second exhibition space. Yeah.
And you chose PJ as your location rather than a much more affluent area like Bangsar or KL City Centre. Why is that?
Well, it's convenient access to begin with. We're smack in between PJ and KL, and yeah, location-wise, it's just direct access really.
And it's really right by the main road.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Where they used to house old bungalows, and now it's transformed to commercial area. So
Correct.
This is your second gallery. Obviously, you've got lots of renovation works done here. So talk to us about that renovation work.
Well, in terms of concept and styling of how we wanted to make an art gallery, we wanted it to be a bit less rigid. We wanted it to be a bit more spacious, and we wanted it to be simple and functional. So we decided to nestle in on the house, and then just give it a chance for people to come and enjoy art in a very comfortable setting. Yeah.
Did you go through a lot of renovation work in making this happen?
Yeah, we basically overhauled the entire house, broke down all the walls.
All the walls?
Most of it. We had to do new partitions and things like that. Yeah, it was really fun for us to really embark on this because it was our first time getting this done, and artistically we wanted to make it happen.
What kind of changes can we see, before and after?
Well, generally you will see most of the walls have changed obviously because the partition will have to be created differently to display the art. New wirings for new lighting systems. Even in terms of flooring as well, it's just consistent carpeting all throughout. Yeah. And
I noticed most galleries would have a black ceiling. Why is that?
It's just to create a bit more depth and space and focus as well when you look at something. Yeah. So it goes against on the black ceiling against white walls. So then it basically allows you to narrow down and focus on the art as well.
All right. Yeah. So tell us about the spaces and the layout of this particular gallery. What do we see when we come in, and how do you create that flow of your views and also your perception towards an art?
Generally, I think when a person comes into this space at Purplehouse, first and foremost, they say, "Oh, this is a home. There's a garden patch outside."
Yeah, it's kind of cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy. So that's the feeling they get. So it relaxes them in the first place. And when they come in, they see a huge array of arts just being displayed in every nook and every corner. So it then invites them to turn and capture and see more of what we have. And what happens is it stretches out all the way to the back. And we have at any one time about 300 to 400 pieces of art against all the 3 galleries that we have. So it's a large collection, and I guess that is one thing that we also wanted to give our consumers, a whole range of arts to just appreciate and see. Yeah.
So what are among the crucial factors that you consider before arranging this beautiful piece of art on a plain white wall?
Yeah. I guess to be honest with you, we have to identify some feature walls in our gallery. So there will be certain pieces that are then becoming signature pieces for us. So and usually we have a feature wall on one end and the other end. So then in between them we'll put pieces in the middle. At the same time, our art transactions also move quite quickly. So we also move the arts around from time to time as well. Yeah.
So what determines an art to be allocated or having the privilege of being put on a feature wall?
Well, first and foremost, it's the size.
Okay.
You obviously need a bigger painting for a bigger wall. Generally as well, there are certain signature artists that we have, and that will also be showcased as well. Yeah.
And on other parts of ID works, because obviously it's Purplehouse, but nothing is purple about this house. So
only the exterior is purple and grey. I think it was it's a royal color by definition, and basically I thought it stood out quite a bit. And the name is quite catchy. It's not exactly So Purplehouse, they're like, oh, what's that? It's an art gallery. Okay, I'm quite interested to know more. And then when you come in, Oh, it's just so plain and simple. It's very functional. Yeah, so that was the whole idea, really.
Oh, all right. So is there any like a vast difference or any really similarities between three of these galleries, or each one has its own character, or it's just like a brand thing? Or
there is a consistency with the Purplehouz brand, whereby it's meant to be giving you a very cozy environment when you enter. The layout is meant to be simple and functional, and it is meant to showcase a wide range of artworks, from contemporary artists all the way to pioneering artists. So that is the consistency that we're trying to bring.
Okay, so what would be your biggest challenge in making all three galleries a success?
Well, definitely management. To make it as a full running operating business, we also have to understand that we may not be necessarily in a mall where high traffic it's coming through. So that would be one question that people ask us: why not in the mall? I guess there are pros and cons to this. I think generally the fact that we have 3 art galleries in the vicinity of PJ, we are suggesting that we are actually very serious about the business, and therefore when people come and actually look at art, we more or less know that a person who's coming in with a strong interest in art. Whereas in the mall, you can get people just loitering around and just, I guess, just killing time for a moment and then move on. But here, I think we have very targeted buyers in that sense.
All right.
Yeah.
So you want the right kind of people to come in, so when you talk about the right kind of people to come in to buy your art, so who would you say your preferred or target market?
Well, we always say it's anyone and everyone who likes and enjoys art, to large corporations and to also institutions as well. We've had some serious collectors walk through our doors. We have young collectors. We even have people who are just starting out in a new home, for instance.
Okay.
And they are coming and say, oh, I'm looking for something, and it's for my house. And after they purchase that art, then say, wow, it really makes a difference. It really completes the house. We got everything. We got the furniture, we got the lighting, but it's something for the wall.
And you do have people who is friendly and well versed here in art. Say like a person like me, I love beautiful things, but I sometimes don't know what I'm gonna spend my money on. So you do have other services like that?
Correct, of course. We are happy to take you through over the various artworks. People will be asking various questions. You can get questions like, I'm looking for lovebirds. Okay. And that will be a question, and we have to search for something like that. And some people are looking for more prolific artists, and we are able to give them a background and an investment angle to the entire purchase of that thing.
Okay, so now you're going to take me across the road.
Correct.
Your latest gallery, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do in the next segment. We're going to know about the artist of the month and probably tips and advice from Soon Wei. So see you later after this. And we're back. You're watching In Real Tea with me, Nawati Adnan. Well, it's Artsy Fartsy episode this week. With me is Soon Wei. He's the gallery director for Purplehouz. Thank you again, Soon Wei, for making the time. So we are going to talk about the artists being exhibited here in the third Purplehouz gallery. So
Correct.
He is Lee Ju-for.
Yes.
He's been in the business for quite a long time. Renowned artist, but in his kind of a low-key manner, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm happy to tell you more.
Okay.
Well, we opened our third space on the 23rd of May, and we honored a prolific pioneering artist who is none other than Lee Ju-for. Lee Ju-for was born in Penang in the year 1929. He's a living artist. He's 83 years old today, and he resides in Australia in Melbourne. And what we've done here is that we're showcasing 40 years of his works from 1962 to 2002.
And the moment I step in this third gallery, I got my eyes set on the Man in the Mist.
Man in the Mist, yeah.
So that happens to be one of his...
One of the feature pieces that we are actually exhibiting here. There are 3 interior people: Restless Tigers and Man in the Midst. Lee Ju-for is an artist who's not just an artist or a painter alone. He's also a playwright, a dancer, a writer, and he really did invest a lot into the arts for Malaysia. And we thought this was really in conjunction to just honor him and his works.
So talk to us a little bit about his message, his objectives, his work of art, what inspires him.
Sure. So Ju-for, at this exhibition we are exhibiting about 41 pieces of his work, and what happens is that I think the key message that Ju-for tries to say here is that he usually paints the elements of horses, bulls and humans. And in the different paintings that you see here, you can see that Ju-for understands elements very well. He understands positivity and negativity, and he understands how he brings the energy together and then brings on a new meaning in that sense. So in all his various pieces, you see it being authoritative, but at the same time with a good sense of control. Yeah.
And when we talk about his work, I can see that it's very bold. I've got the instant strength when I look at his picture. So talk to us a little bit about how he derives his message in his works.
Sure. A lot of his books are derived from his personal life. By training also he picked up calligraphy, but he was always taught to train and think in English. So you can see an elements of the East and West coming together. Basically, as he was painting over the many years, he takes on situations of understanding what's happening in terms of current issues. Or in the 70s, I think gender inequality was an issue. So that was also quite exhibited in some of the pieces here. Yeah.
And he resides here in Malaysia?
No, he resides in Australia, in Melbourne. Just a little bit about him. During the peak of his career in the 1970s, he migrated to Australia. What happened was he had 5 children and 3 of them actually suffered from muscle dystrophy, which was a muscle degeneration disease. So he sought medical help for the children over there. And it paid off very well because the 3 children are still alive today, and 2 of them are lawyers and 1 of them is a social worker. And he's still having an opportunity to also express his art in a much bolder way because it's probably less resistance over there. Yeah.
So when you have all this beautiful art collection in a gallery, it seems as if it's hard to pick and choose on which type of art that would suit an individual the most. So let's talk a little bit about your tips and advices on a person like an individual like me who is not in the know at all about arts but who loves beautiful things. So what would be the first thing or the few things that I should consider before thinking that okay, this would fit perfectly on my wall, or this would fit perfectly to my personality and my likings?
Sure. I think what you can obviously try to do is obviously visit galleries, and by visiting galleries you have to keep an open mind. Just come in, experience and see what you like in the first place. And sometimes you may not see on the first round, you may have to revisit again because the first impression you could get, oh, this is just too much for me. But when you come in the second time you say, oh, I think I see a different angle to it. And I guess as an art collector, that's how you begin your relationship with art. You pick up a piece that makes sense to you, like landscapes, mountains, those things make sense to me.
And then another challenge would be picking the right kind of frame to frame the right kind
and we're happy to help in that sense.
Right kind of painting or art. Correct. So what would be the crucial points that I should know before I have that painting and going to the frame shop and say, okay, I want purple, I want green, I want black frame?
Well, for a homeowner, you probably have a certain thematic design, whether it's minimalist, whether it's a bit more zen or a bit more pop. And then naturally you pick an art first to kind of connect that, and then we'll then do a frame to match it. So sometimes the frame could be bolder than the art piece, for instance, or it could be the other way around, depending how you want to make it.
Would there be an instant where the painting and the frame is totally wrong, or it's a subjective thing?
There are times where a certain framing doesn't match the painting because it makes it look very rigid. It doesn't give it a lot of space to breathe. So in terms of making borders, it's also very, very important because you want the painting to be really hung well on the wall. So these things are, well, it comes through experience because we're in the business. We roughly know how we can actually put some thought into it.
So from your experience in this business, how would you rate the local passion or the local interest towards art currently?
I think the last 2 years it's definitely been picking up in terms of art appreciation, and as a result we are seeing an art community growing generally in the art world, from performing arts into the fine arts, and I think people are less resistant to it now. We are seeing a lot more people coming in to visit, and people are becoming more progressive as well. So we're quite excited. That's why we're expanding. That's why we are taking interest in catering to the community as well. And that's why we have 3 art galleries.
So what's next for Purplehouz? Are we going to anticipate more galleries from you?
It's in the pipeline, but I think generally we will obviously be having more exhibitions, and we do want to take Purplehouz to Singapore.
Oh,
I think that'll be interesting.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sumin, for your time.
Thank you, Lina.
Well, there you go. I hope you are all in the know about how to invest, what to invest on, and how you can pick the right kind of painting or that piece of art for your home. So with that, I'll see you again next week on In Realty.